before, getting into racing, I had to have a clear vision, seeing myself become a pro driver. And I think, I fully believe that that vision was put into my brain by God, right? God put it into my
Right.
mind that, hey, you can become this, you can become a pro. He put it clearly so I could see it, because once it's clearly in your mind and you can clearly see it, that means it is already done. And that goal, that whatever you're trying to reach, it's done. And so it was on me from there to put in the energy, the time, the effort, and never quit. So that's what continued to push. What always pushed me was that I already saw the end. And when you see the end and you know it's there, why would you ever stop? No matter what's happening along the way.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, bonjour, buongiorno, bon dia, buenos dias, good to gozaimasu. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you are watching Steffi's Talk Show. I am Steph, welcome, and I'm so used to say those words, and I think everybody now knows it perfectly. I hope so. If you don't know it, just try to practice it, and you will see it's quite funny to do it. Okay, in today's video, we have a special guest that I myself has been waiting for this moment. Our guest is the definition of drive, literally and figuratively. Is a U.S. naval officer who turned his passion for speed into history, making moments on the NASCAR track. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is about to be big, I'm pretty sure. Is the co-owner of JC Iwuji Motorsports, a keynote speaker, inspiring audience around the world, a TV personality, entrepreneur, sport company owner, and real estate investor. He has like a list. Is amazing. This journey proves that purpose and perseverance can take you anywhere. Even from serving the nation to racing 200 miles an hour is a living inspiration. Please welcome the unstoppable JC Iwuji. How are you, JC?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks so much for having me on the show. And thank you so much for the intro. I'm surprised you didn't say, maybe like, I don't know, 320 kilometers an hour instead of 200 miles per hour.
Okay. Well, why is that? Is he better?
Well, in Europe, yeah, they use kilometers a lot, and I'm pretty sure 200 miles an hour converts to around 320 or so, maybe more. I can't remember.
Oh, that's okay. Well, minor details. It's okay. I mean, we also have Americans here, so it's okay. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
yeah.
That's fine.
No, there's a
Um,
lot.
See, thank you. I want to thank you first for accepting to come to my show, giving me some of your times. I know everything is on the clock on your side, and that's totally normal because obviously you do have a lot on your shoulders, a lot going on. But let's start slowly. Let's start from the very beginning. So tell us let's pretty much what you want to share about your story, how everything starts. I know if I'm not wrong, you first was a naval officer even before racing, right? If I'm not.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, my story is different than a lot of other drivers out there, right? So for me, I grew up in Dallas, Texas, and growing up in Texas, my first main sport that I was super passionate about was football, and football, and not European football like soccer, but
Yeah,
American football.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So I played American football in middle school and in high school, and then eventually I got recruited and got a full scholarship to go play football for the United States Naval Academy. So I went to the Naval Academy, played football there for 4 years, graduated in 2010, and became a surface warfare officer in the Navy. So as a surface warfare officer, I was on different ships. So my first ship was a minesweeper. My second ship was an amphibious ship. Both of those ships, I spent about 2 or so years on each one. And when I would have some free time and I was getting opportunities to, have free weekends, I would take my personal cars to local racetracks near me in San Diego, California. So that's where I was stationed at. So as I was going to these racetracks for just open track days, and these are track days that anybody can bring their vehicles to. I mean, they even in Europe, they have the same things at different tracks, like in the Nürburgring, at Silverstone, at Spa. You can do these open track days where you can take your personal vehicles to the track. So I was doing that here. And after a while of doing that, one day in about probably 2013 or 14, I made this decision that I wanted to eventually pursue professional racing. And when I made that decision, I was still in the Navy active duty and I was still serving active duty. But I had finally finished up with going on deployments and I was about to get stationed on the shore and have shore duty. So I knew I was going to have a lot more free weekends. And this is what allowed me to start figuring out how to find the funding, how to find the time, how to find the resources and everything to start making my push toward professional racing because racing isn't cheap. It's very, very expensive. You got to find a way to pay for it. So I actually had to start my own businesses while still serving in the Navy just to make extra money to be able to cover the cost of me going after this professional racing journey.
Okay. So is that mean like even I mean you started from being a naval officer. Was it something that you dreamed about that you wanted to do first?
So, I don't think I ever really thought about professional racing prior to that. It really wasn't until about 2013 or 14 where I really started thinking about the options of potentially trying to go pro. And when I started thinking about it, I just made the decision. I decided 100% that I was going to jump into becoming a pro driver. And after that, I knew that it was going to take a lot of energy and a lot of time and a lot of effort. So I just started jumping in and trying to figure out what were all the necessary pieces of the puzzle that I had to put together to be able to get on track. And then once all the necessary pieces of the puzzle to not only get on track, but to stay on track, because to be able to keep the journey alive and keep it going every single year, once again, you always got to find the correct funding. You always got to make sure you can manage your time and resources properly. You always got to continue to network and find new partnerships to help you continue to propel forward. There's a lot of things you got to do, and it's not easy. So it's more than just being able to drive a race car on a track. There's so much on the outside that you have to do to make sure things on the inside work.
Yeah, I can imagine a lot of things to put together because before you make it happen, right?
Yeah.
So you made history as one of the few African American drivers in NASCAR. So what were the biggest challenges stepping into that world, both on and off the track?
Yeah, becoming one of the first few, I guess, African Americans to race in NASCAR. There had been other ones before me, plenty of other ones. And when I say plenty, like not a lot, but there's been others, right? Bubba Wallace, Wesley. I'm forgetting his name. I'm forgetting his name. Um, I'm forgetting, I'm
Okay.
blanking right now. But anyways, there's
Okay.
other drivers, other drivers who have come before me. But at that time, especially when I was diving in, there wasn't a lot of African Americans. I think me, Bubba Wallace, and then after a few years went by, Raja Karut, and a few other folks have come along the way who are still racing. I think right now, currently, there's one, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, at least 5 or so, 5, maybe 6, 6 drivers who race, whether it's part time, full time, in NASCAR, who are African American.
Yeah, so you see, you are able to count them. So that says a lot already. But yeah, based on back to my question. So, what are your biggest challenges in this environment, stepping into that world on and off the track?
So yeah, the challenge is, I mean, when you're African American in this sport, obviously, you're different, but does it present challenges? Maybe, who knows? Have I dealt with, some people who have been a little bit racist and this and that? I have, yeah. Um, not too, I wouldn't say face to face dealt with those people in the sport, sometimes outside of the sport. But sometimes you have some fans who just
Yeah.
don't like me because of the color of my skin. There are some of those out there, unfortunately, and they will let you know. I've had, every year, well, some point during the year, I'll get a message from someone. Sometimes it's a couple times, and it'll be a very, very racist message with a lot of words that you can never say and that start with the N. I've had it happen a few times, but it's part of it, I guess. There's always going to be there's you're never going to make everyone happy when you're doing whatever you're doing, even if you're going after a passion and a goal of yours. I'm not like I'm trying to go out there and do something controversial. I'm just trying to jump on track and race and just be like everybody else. But
Yeah.
sometimes there's some people who just don't like it or think you got there for whatever reason. So people have their misconceptions and their thoughts, but it's not something you ever let affect your journey. The people who are like that, they can be like that. It literally has zero zero effect on me getting to where I
So
need to go, or it doesn't slow me down from getting to where I need to go.
yes, I do like this type of way of thinking. Great. So what I'm talking about, this way of thinking, basically, I mean, being in your position, I can only imagine you did have a lot of challenges. You did have a lot of, I would say, maybe obstacles. So what exactly, in terms of mindset, what exactly keep you going? Keep what exactly make you think like nothing's gonna stop me? Like I keep going no matter what.
Yeah, you got to have that vision, right? So for me, in the initial beginning, before getting into racing, I had to have a clear vision, seeing myself become a pro driver, and I think I fully believe that that vision was put into my brain by God, right? God put it into my mind that hey, you can become this, you can become a pro driver. Like He put it clearly so I could see it, because once it's clearly in your mind and you can clearly see it, that means it is already done in the future. That deal, that goal, that whatever you're trying to reach, it's done in the future. So it was on me from there to put in the energy, the time, the effort, and never quit so that I could get to that goal and get to the end. So that's what continued to push me. What always pushed me was that I already saw the end. And when you see the end and you know it's there, why would you ever stop? No matter what's happening along the way. Like imagine if someone told you, hey, no matter what, you will not die until, you know, 2099. So if you know that and and it's guaranteed, like it's a guarantee, like you won't, why wouldn't you go as hard as you can until then? Why would you quit along the way? Why would you know, quit on life before then? It would make no sense. So I clearly saw it. Why would I quit before, no matter what happens? Because not saying that I clearly saw the end and then everything was going to be all roses and everything. No, it wasn't. It was going to be difficult along the way, but just don't quit. Get to the end.
Wow. I haven't seen things in that way because the opposite way works too, I believe, when you actually think that actually you don't know when life's gonna end. You know what I mean? So why not living it to the fullest? I feel like the
Mhm.
opposite works too.
True, it does. Yes, yeah, and that is another way to look at it. Like you don't know when your last day here is going to be. It could be tomorrow. It could be whenever. You don't know. So yes, live it to the maximum. Live it to the fullest. But you know, to have faith is believing that what it's not going to be tomorrow because I already saw the end. So I need to get through all that. Like I already saw what's happening. Once I can't see what else has happened anymore, then I know the end is about to be here.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Makes sense actually. Do you remember this one race when you actually felt like this is it? I belong into that track.
I would say my first race ever. So my first race I ever did, I was very inexperienced coming into the race. There was about 21 cars racing in that race, and I figured, okay, I'm a newbie. I'm coming in. I'm probably going to be like last place. I'm probably going to be the slowest person. Last place. I don't have that much. I had maybe driven that race car 3 or 4 times prior to that. I didn't have a lot of experience at all. And prior to even me driving that race car, I hadn't driven any race cars. I didn't shoot, I had a little bit of simulator experience and that's about it. So I jump into this race with no experience. I'm thinking I'm gonna be dead last. I end up, being in practice 13th fastest, which for me, I felt like, hey, that's pretty good. I'm almost like in the middle of the pack and I'm faster than, 8 other cars. So I was like, that's not bad. And then we get into the race and I was running about 13th or so most of the race until somebody spun me out towards the end. So then I finished like 15th. But still, I was very happy to be able to show that, hey, I have a little bit of speed here. I can go out there and I can do it. And that was kind of like my I guess proof that this is possible. Not saying that that was going to be my proof that I was going to go win every race after that or anything, but it was my proof of concept that hey, this is possible. I can get in and I can compete. Will it be easy? No, but can I do this? Yes, I can jump in and I can do this.
So this is kind of like, you sounds like pretty much being done jumping on the track and everything can happen. It sounds kind of like a type of fearless type of person, right? I feel like this may be coming from also your experience as a naval officer, right? Do you think this helps you build that mindset to be ready enough for the the track of NASCARs?
I think my experience in the Navy definitely has helped me prepare my mindset in a way to be ready to race on track. Being a naval officer, you sometimes aren't given all the information in the world that you would need. Sometimes you're not given all the resources that you need. Sometimes you're not given a lot of time or energy or time to rest or prepare. Sometimes you just have to do things on the go. You have to do it on your feet. You have to make decisions that could potentially lead to good things or potentially lead to bad things that could maybe get the ship crashed or hurt people or whatever. So there's a lot of stuff that happen as a naval officer, and it happens very quick, and you got to make these decisions. So that does translate over to what I was doing in motorsports, where I had to make a lot of decisions very quick. I had to act on things quick. I had to think quick. I had to get through stresses and strains and through like all of that and handle it properly. Um, Being a naval officer helped set me up to be able to handle the things that I had to handle while competing in NASCAR.
It and talking about Navy leadership and your whole experience, you talk a lot about, I mean, we talk about a lot about discipline and services. And so what would be the lesson the Navy what would be the lesson from the Navy that you think everyone should live by?
Lessons I would say from the Navy that everyone should live by is there's a book in the Navy. It's a military book, period. It's called Message to Garcia. And what that book is about is there's a guy who needed to take a message from one place to another during a war, during a battle. And he wasn't given a lot of information on where to go, how to get there, how to make this happen. He just knew that he had to get the message from one place to another before it was too late. Because if he didn't, then a lot of people were going to die. A lot of people were going to get hurt. The battle would be lost. So he went and made it happen without crying about it, without making excuses, nothing. He made it happen. He got the message to where he needed to get it to. And that's, I think, a lesson that everybody needs to take in life. Like sometimes you're not given the direction. Sometimes you're not given the resources. Sometimes you're not given the information. Sometimes you're not given everything you need to go quickly be successful. Sometimes you're only given a part of the information. But whatever you do get, you have to maximize it and make the most of it. And no matter what, you got to go complete the mission. Because if you don't, everything's going to fall apart. So don't quit. Like take what you have, make the most of it, and go complete the mission.
Okay. Um, you not only decided to be a NASCAR racer, you also push it even further in terms of actually going into the business side of the industry. You are a co-owner of the GC Iwuji Motorsports. So why? Tell us a little bit more about that side of the industry.
Yeah, so decided to jump into the entrepreneurship world. My first business I ever started was I was hosting drag racing events where I would rent out drag strips and we put on these big racing events. I still do that business today. Then I next got into the transportation business, and I had a semi truck and some other semi trucks that were running different products and goods for Amazon. And then the next business I got into was real estate investing and then film production, esports, and then eventually started my own NASCAR team. And I started it with a few other people. And we started the team because it gave us the opportunity to control our own narrative, control our own journey, build our own journey, and not continue to build other people's journeys. That's why we started that team. And yeah, the first year went, pretty solid. The next 2 years after that were very rough. And right now we're just working on kind of getting back to having really solid years again. But that's how it is in any business, anything you do. There's ups and downs. It's never fully easy. You might have some easy days, but easy days aren't every single day.
Wonderful. Sounds like really like you are unstoppable. Like you have superpowers. Okay. So give us a little bit of, I would say, some tips and lessons, or what did you learn from actually entrepreneurship?
Some things I've learned in entrepreneurship: be as resourceful as you can, be as creative as you can, continue to create new ideas and new ways to move your business forward. Obviously, don't ever leave your core, like whatever your core thing is that you do that makes money, that works, that people like and enjoy. Stay on that. Continue to evolve it and make it better. Don't just sit stagnant with it, but never get away from the base core. Like, for example, if you make pizza and you make pizza really well, keep making pizza. Don't decide one day, you know what, we're not going to make pizza anymore. Let's go make fried chicken. Well, maybe you can go make some good fried chicken, but you got away from your core people who helped you get the business going, who love what you do, who continue to support you, continue to buy for you and put money into you. They're going to be gone because they didn't, they didn't want fried chicken from you. They wanted pizza because that's what you did. So if you make pizza, maybe continue to make the pizza a little bit better. Maybe as time goes on, make it with better ingredients. Maybe make a few different flavors if you can without doing too much and overdoing it. Try a few little variations. Maybe try some special stuff here and there that gets people really connecting to you and feeling like they're a part of that journey. And just continue to create and be creative, but stick to that core and do that core as well as you can. Whatever your core is for your business, make sure it's something that's solving someone's problem, and make sure it's a problem that people want to be solved, right? So you can go decide one day that you want to invent the world's, I don't know, biggest TV in the world, I don't know, a 100-foot big TV. Well, that's cool. And then you can go invest in it. It'll probably look cool. It'll be definitely a cool feat. But is that a problem people want solved? Do people in their normal households want a 100-foot large TV? They don't. So you're not solving any problem for anyone. You're just creating this interesting product that nobody's going to buy because it's not a problem. They don't need to buy it. Like, people buy what solves problems for them. So maybe go buy a TV that is super light, cost effective, but, large enough where, it's anywhere from 65 to 80-inch or whatever. And then all of a sudden you solve the problem for people. They get something that they enjoy. Whatever your niche is that you're jumping into, make sure that core, whatever you're doing, solves someone's problem, and it's solving a problem that they want to be solved, not a problem that you think they need to be solved. Don't force feed something to them. Don't create problems for people and then go try to solve it. People do that too. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Uh,
um, and yeah, and then, also in the business world, as you're going through it, there's always going to be ups and downs. Do not quit. Continue to, um, uh, you know, reshape what you're doing and continue to mold it into something bigger and better, and continue to always get better. Watch what the competition's doing and learn from them. Don't watch the competition just hating them or being envious or whatever. Watch all your competition and watch people in other industries, see what they're doing, take some of those goods and slowly use some of those things to help make your business better. Just always continue to find ways to make your business better. You don't have to expand it like crazy. Just make it better so that whoever's buying into it continues to have better and better experiences the more they buy into your business. You do that and your business will be around for a long time. And
Excellent.
treat people good too. Treat people good. Don't treat the customers like crap. Listen to them. Obviously, there are such things as crappy customers. Like, I know the saying is, the customer's always right. That's not true. Like, good customers are always right. The ones that, hey, I want to see your business succeed. Here's some thoughts I think that could help you. Those are the guys you want to listen to. The people who just complain and complain. There's people who, no matter what, will never be happy. You don't need to listen to them. If 100 people tell you how your business is doing and 97 of them are like, this is great, and three of them say the worst things, well, you're 97%, positive. Like, you don't have to really necessarily listen to those three people. Maybe you can quickly listen to see, hey, does this actually make sense? But if it doesn't, don't pour your heart into three people when 97 are telling you that everything's all good.
Totally agree with you. So let's take from being a Navy officer, from being a NASCAR racer, from actually being a serial entrepreneur. And you did not stop here. You are also doing public speaking and TV
Yeah.
personality stuff. So tell us about that journey. I believe you have a message that you pretty much wants to share while you're doing into that industry, right? So tell us about it.
Yeah, I do speaking engagements. I've spoken at a lot of different companies: Microsoft, Amazon, Uber Freight, Capital One, Dell Technologies, some hospitals, some schools, universities. I've spoken in a lot of different places, and it's been great, really, over the last 6 years now. And then outside of that, I've continued to kind of just build everything else that I have. I do stay quite busy. The TV personality stuff. I haven't I haven't done anything on TV in a little while, besides obviously racing in NASCAR on TV. I haven't done anything like hosting or being a part of a show in a little while now. But I've been mainly focused on creating my own channels, right, through YouTube and stuff. So, there was a time period where I really wanted to find ways to be on more TV opportunities and maybe even movie opportunities. But then I started looking into that whole Hollywood world, and I just didn't like where it was going, right? I saw there were a lot of people who were very manipulative in that world, people who were doing bad things, who were just not good people. And I'm like, do I want to? I'm not going to go sell my soul to like these bad people just to have some time on the screen. Like, I can create my own screen time using YouTube, using Instagram, using all these social media platforms. You don't have to rely on Hollywood anymore. Like, you can get out there and be your own popular bee, you know, through what you create through these channels that let you put your stuff on there for free. And then the customer, the people viewing, will let you know if they want to watch you or not by hitting that subscribe button, by commenting on your videos, by liking them, by whatever. And they'll let you know. And guess what? You get to make money off that stuff too. So you have opportunity to produce income. You have opportunity to create your own audience, your own viewers, and then create the content that you want to create. And you can be the star of your own show. So why would I like leave that to try to go chase Hollywood where I have to let somebody else determine if I am fit for what they got going on? No. If I think I'm good, then I'm going to do my own thing and I'm going to be my own star in my own show. And that's just how I am. I don't need to be the star in somebody else's show unless they want me to, but I don't need to go prove it to them. If they want it, then come get it. If you don't want it or you're not unsure, then I don't need you.
Yes, that's quite a good good words here. Okay, so let's go to the next segment. I have a specific hot show fire, quick fire games. This is very simple. Question, answer right away. Okay, very simple.
Yeah.
It's 2 minutes. Don't think about it too much. Here we go. You are late to the track. What's your excuse?
Late to the track, my excuse is both of my dogs needed to go outside and pee and poop. So I had to take them out, and you have to wait a long time before they do it because sometimes they need to sniff around everywhere. So yeah, that's my excuse if I'm late to the track.
What's the most un-Navy thing you've ever done?
The most un-Navy thing I've ever done was probably failing some of my swim tests at the Naval Academy because, for somebody who's supposed to be in the Navy, you should be able to swim very confidently and competently. So I think the most un-Navy thing I've ever done is probably fail some swim tests, which I eventually passed. Failing them at first probably was very not Navy.
That was a mental thing, right? You
Yeah,
were not.
I mean, it was a physical thing and a mental thing. I just don't float very well. So unfortunately I sink a lot in the water, which didn't help me at the Naval Academy. Made it very difficult. But luckily I passed all my tests eventually. It was very difficult. It wasn't easy, but I got through it.
Okay. If NASCAR made a rule where you could play one song while driving, what song's blasting?
If NASCAR made a rule where I could only play one song while driving, what would that be? It would most likely be a song, probably an old, 2000s era grunge song. So maybe Blurry by Puddle of Mud or something like that. Somewhere in that range, it would probably be one of those because those usually keep me pretty hyped and it brings me back to an era of time where I really love that music. So I would say that would be something I would play if they allowed us to play music in the car.
Okay. Would you rather change a flat tire in 100-degree heat or sit through a 4 hours meeting?
Would I rather Yeah, I would rather change a flat tire in 100-degree heat than sit in a 4-hour meeting, 100%, because the flat tire in 100-degree heat, I can change that. I've already done that actually, but, actually just did that in August. I actually just did that in August, but I can do that in just, a few minutes, so that's not difficult at all.
Okay. Well, I think I would choose the same thing even if I never did it. Because 4 hour meetings is like, ah. But
Long time,
okay.
yeah.
You have to pick a new job for a week. TikTok dancer or weatherman.
If I had to pick a new job for a week I
Yeah.
would definitely pick weatherman over a TikTok dancer. A TikTok dancer, I don't get how they aren't just I don't know how they do it because I was like, I don't have an issue like dancing and stuff, but like TikTok dancers, I've seen some of their behind the scenes videos before, and they like practice this stuff all the time. And I just feel like it's just weird because imagine being like a grown person and you're like sitting there like practicing dances for TikTok. It's just crazy to me. It's like, go do something more real that like really solves a real problem. It's like being a weatherman. You're solving people's problems, right? There's people who depend on the weather people to give them accurate information.
True.
So
Yeah.
I think that's a more fulfilling job where you're actually helping society out versus dancing and brain rotten people.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
What snack secretly powers your success?
What snack secretly powers success? For me, it would be gummy candy. I really like gummy candy. Now, I've tried to not eat it as much recently because probably not the best at in putting all that sugar inside of you. But yeah, I would say that would be like my snack that I probably love the most if I could have it every day. But unfortunately, I can't have it every day. So yeah,
Yeah, not good for your health.
no, not at all.
You can only keep one, your car or your phone.
If I could only keep one, my car or my phone, that's a tough one. It probably have to be the phone because I can then use the phone to go hopefully make the right money and extra money so I can go buy another car. But with the car, I can't communicate with people, and communication is a very big thing in this world. So if you can't communicate, then how are you going to do anything? I don't even have GPS anymore. You maybe use a GPS in the car, but it'd be difficult. A phone, I think, could get you a little bit further in life than the car can.
Hard choice. If you had to recruit one celebrity for your racing team, who is driving?
If I had to recruit one celebrity for my racing team, it would probably be Christian Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh,
It'd be him. Yes, it'd be him because he would bring the most value to the team out of anybody. Like a social media
you know that.
following, sponsors, everything. He would be the one.
But are you not worried that it doesn't know how to actually drive the car?
I'll teach him. I'll teach him how to drive. As long as you have the passion to want to do it, I'll teach him. It might take a little bit of time. He has plenty of money and time. We can do a simulator training, 4, 5, 6 hours a day. We can go to a track and learn 4, 5, 6 hours a day. And we can do that every single day until he learns. He has plenty of money to do it. So that's why I would recruit him.
Okay, makes sense. Have you ever used your "I'm the NASCAR driver" line to get out of a speedy ticket?
I have never used the I'm a NASCAR driver line to get out a speeding ticket. I usually try not to tell the officer what I do professionally because he might use it against me. So usually I just try to keep it very simple. I don't even want to conversate with them. I'm just like, hey, what's up? What's going on? And I hand them my ID and they look at it. They look at my military ID too as well. And sometimes they'll be like, just slow down or do whatever. Maybe I don't know. I don't get pulled over often, so honestly, I don't have to worry about it.
Okay. Describe your driving style in 3 words.
Describing my driving style in 3 words is very analytical. Yeah, I would say yeah, analytical, aggressive, smooth. If you could
Okay.
put that all together. So I like to analyze how I'm entering, how I'm in the center of a corner, how I'm exiting. I try to aggressively do it if I'm in, a battle for a position. And then you try to be as smooth as possible as far as your steering inputs and your throttle inputs, braking inputs. I try to be smooth. I feel like I'm really smooth, but that's my analyzation of my driving style.
Okay. And last, finish this sentence. Life moves fast, but I always make time for.
Life moves fast, but always make time for God, right? You always got to pray. You always got to, make sure that you're in line with God, because at the end of the day, without Him, we couldn't do anything in life. We couldn't live. We couldn't do anything. We just wouldn't get anywhere. Life would just go downhill, no matter what it is. So, yeah, that would be it.
Okay, all right. That's it for the hot secret fire games. Thank you, Jesse. So now to close this interview, I would probably maybe you have some advice do you want to give some advice for anyone who watch you and wants to chase a dream that seems totally out of reach?
For anybody going after any goals and dreams that are out of reach, what I would like to tell them is have a vision, clearly see it in your mind. It needs to authentically come to your head. Fully and obsessively believe in that dream. Put action towards it on a daily basis. Be creative around your action and what you do to try to achieve it. Don't ever quit, no matter how hard it gets. And always remember the higher you want to go, the deeper you're going to have to dig. And as you dig deep, remember, it's going to get cold, it's going to get tough, it's going to be rough, but the higher you want to go, the deeper you're going to have to dig. So determine where that ceiling's at and dig deep because it's going to be a long journey. And have faith the entire time. And help others along the way.
All right, nice words. Okay, so now just one more thing, maybe. If we wants to follow you and see what you're doing, where are we going?
So anybody who wants to follow me on social media, all my platform names are pretty much the same. It's my first name, Jesse, Jesse underscore IWUJI. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you name it. I'm always putting out different content, usually positive and funny stuff or cool motorsports related stuff. I'm always pushing out, fun, engaging content out there. So those who want to follow, follow. If there's anyone listening who wants to be a sponsor of ours on our racing team, make sure you reach out. And just those who just want to be inspired by the journey, follow and, engage with the content.
Wonderful. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching Steffi's Talk Show. JC as well. Thank you very much for today's interview. That's it for today. Once again, I look forward to see you to the next video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Bye.